Oh, we're a bit closer. Nothing's working. Nothing's working. Are we on? Are we live? Are we working? This is the question. Hold on. Oh, here we go. We are working. Looks like we're working. Can you see me? Oh, yeah. God. Right. Sorry. I'm just bringing it up on the screen at the same time. We are live. Little cheer. We are live. Funfair crazy. Hello. Hello. So this is a real impromptu sort of live stream, to be honest with you. You know, it's been really boring. It's been really boring. How you all finding it? How you all finding it? What have you been up to this weekend? Thanks, Dave. You can see what oh, we've dropped. We've fallen. Oh, my life. You're going to see the fall. The Lego bricks there. Oh. Dear God, the Lego bricks are not holding firm on this one, people. They're not holding firm on this one. We're back, we're back. Oh, it's been a really boring day. It's been really, really boring. Oh, I've had a weekend off. It might sound quite good to have a weekend off. But I've actually really enjoyed having to go to work every day. I really have enjoyed having to go to work every day. To have a weekend off has been so different. Really, really different. What's everyone been up to? What's everyone been up to? Yeah. It's 23 degrees in my lounge. I don't know whether that's good or not. I don't know whether that's good or not. I've seen people pretending to be at a theme park. I tell you what, actually, I've seen quite a lot of videos. I think someone started it from it was either a Cedar Point one or somewhere. It might have been a Great Adventure one last week. Might have been a week before now, where they sat their little kid in a little tub, and off they went. Off they went to some POVs, and I think this is why, actually, over the last week that Alton Towers and Blackpool have all been posting the POVs of their rides. Even if it's not theirs, even if it's one they've borrowed, they've posted some POVs of their rides so that people can sit in front of the TV and do it. I can't think one would be too interested in that, to be perfectly honest with you. I really, really don't. Now then, the reason why we've come live is because we've had a really interesting weekend. We have filmed a video. Sorry, just got one through. My boss has shut down the company for good. I've got my P45. Oh, so sorry. Really sorry about that. It's been tough times out there. It's really tough times out there at the moment. Tough times out there at the moment. Kurt, 23. What's 23, Kurt? What's 23? Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of anniversaries being kind of over this weekend. We've really kind of had it head home to us about Alton Towers. And they're having their 40th anniversary. And of course, the Vampire. The Vampire was 30 years old on Saturday. Did you guys see the footage? Did you see the footage which Chesington put up of the Vampire? Did you see it? Did you see it? Smiler opening year. It's what brought me to the park. What I've done is played Planet Coaster. Yeah, 4 days. 4 days. I've played a lot of Planet Coaster, even to a point where even I've got a little bit eyes sort of glued to the screen. I close my eyes and all I see is Planet Coaster, which can't be good. Don't be surprised when people take phones and rides to get kicked out. No, they might be making a rob for their own back there. If you haven't seen the Chesington one they put up, go and have a look. Honestly, go and have a look, because they had some drone footage in, and I know a lot of the theme parks have done drone footage of their rides. Some of them have been really good, some of them have been really bad. I can't remember for the life of me which one Merlin put up last year. I can't remember which one it is. It was awful, really was awful. However, when you consider the amount of trees around the Vampire, I mean, it's quite incredible how they put this together. It's on Chesington's Facebook page. I highly recommend you check it out. It's only sort of a minute and 20. You know, it's not massive at all. It really isn't. But definitely worth checking out. But yeah, you know, there's a lot. I want people to come and share their memories of Alton Towers over the last 40 years and share their memories of the Vampire. over the last 30 years. Because, you know, these are two places and rides. You're not on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, I don't know whether Chesington have uploaded it to their YouTube. Once the stream's finished, I'll double check. I might even ask Chesington if we can put it on YouTube if they haven't, because it is stunning footage, absolutely stunning footage. But I want you to share some of your Alton Towers or vampire memories, or indeed, you know, we had it was only Fort Park's, I think, anniversary. What was it, last year? Fort Park was 40 years last year, so we might as well divulge, give us some Fort Park memories as well. You know, Alton Towers and Fort Park, arguably, when you look at sort of the main theme parks, have changed massively, like massively, over the last sort of 20 years. Whereas, I don't know, where I've been visiting Chesington since 1990, it just feels like it hasn't actually changed that much. I appreciate they got some new rides and they got some new bits and pieces, but you know, I don't really see the changes. I don't see the changes like I see from my first visit to Alton Towers, or, you know, my first visit to Fort Park. You know, was something completely different. Yeah, I still need to check out Parkitect. I do need to check out Parkitect. Someone has mentioned it to me. Yeah, Intamin Woody. Yeah, I can't remember where that was for, but I remember that was a long time ago. That wasn't it? A long time ago, that one. When they did that. But, you know, when was the first time? If you haven't been to Alton Towers, I'm sorry, but when's the first time you went to either Fort Park or Alton Towers? Alton Towers for me was 1992. I went to Alton Towers, and I remember it was the year no one had wanted to take me beforehand, because quite honestly, they didn't really have a lot to offer. Although the Corkscrew opened in 1980 and they already had the Black Hole, you know, in terms of was it worth driving all the way up there, it probably wasn't worth driving all the way up there, to be honest with you, back in 1990. Especially when the Vampire just opened at Chesington. The Vampire was without a doubt one of the highlight, if not the highlight coaster in the UK, even though it didn't go upside down. It was something people had never ever seen before. So yeah, 1992 come around, and of course it was Runaway Mine Train, which is still going strong, and The Haunted House, which has seen a bit of changes over the years into a more interactive shooter, shall we say. And I just remember going, and it was so fresh. And I think, you know, when you look at now Contanga Canyon kind of all built up with the rapids and everything, you know, back then there were no trees, there was nothing. It was really strange. You know, didn't really feel like a theme park, especially after, you know, the work that had been done at Chesington. Whereas now, you know, you can really appreciate you can really appreciate sort of the detail in even Jewel, and I know Jewel's not particularly liked over the Haunted House, and where I think I prefer Tomb Blaster over the Fifth Dimension. I don't prefer Tomb Blaster over Terror Tomb, and I don't prefer Jewel over the Haunted House. I think the Haunted House had really great scenes in it and was much, much darker. And you had a runaway train, and of course we were used to the runaway train at Chesington, which was a little bit boring, to be honest. Little bit boring, and of course the Flying Fish, which was I think was the Flying Fish then. I can't remember when Space Station Zero turned into the Flying Fish. I actually don't know. Someone can pop that in the comments now, when that happened. So yeah, we'd never seen anything on the scale of a runaway mine train. So 1992, and I remember I went on the New Beast, which was up where Air or Galactica now is, and yeah, the Thunder Looper was there. I was one of the lucky people to get on Thunder Looper. I remember looking at that, and I've said many times on vlogs before, I cannot believe this thing's only got a lap bar. Absolutely staggering. Who got on Thunder Looper? Who managed to get on Thunder Looper? 2004 for Alton Towers. See, that's ages ago now, isn't it? 16 years ago. Wicker Man theming. Yeah, we like a bit of Wicker Man theming. I don't know about Intamin Woodies. I really don't know about them, to be honest with you. Chesington did open this year, very, very briefly. Fort Park Rapids are really choppy and fun, so why aren't Alton Towers? Do you honestly find the Fort Park ones choppy and fun? I mean, the Alton Towers ones have got worse, I'll hand you that, without the bits on. But, my God, I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time for the Fort Park. I'll rip that out and start again. Technically, 2007, when I first went, 2013, went as a enthusiast, although I'm disappointed the Smiler's theming is in its state. Yeah, Kieran, yeah, I agree. I have to say, when the Smiler opened, I didn't like the theming on day one. I didn't like it at all. It just sort of, yeah, I don't know. I didn't get it. I was so excited because we did the Sanctuary, the Maze, the year before, and it really built up a bit of love to the Smiler and the opening. Obviously, we could see it being built as well, and everyone hoped it would be this amazing smooth coaster that it never really turned out to be. But yeah, I don't know. I never really liked it to begin with. I think it was a real wasted opportunity, especially being part of X Sector. Vampire First in 2012. Yeah, well, the waterfalls have been turned off, obviously, because of the accident at Drayton Manor, sadly. But now that's all been sort of done, I kind of hope they get switched back on, to be honest with you. I like the Scorpion Express. It feels longer than it actually is. Yeah, I'm one of the very few people that prefers the Scorpion Express over the Runaway Mine Train, or Runaway Trains that was later known at Chesington. I much prefer the new theming for it. I just wish the backdrops were a bit taller, so when you went up the first part, you didn't see over the fence. But from a ground level and everything they've incorporated, and even the queue line, where you used to just smack your head on the boiler as you went down, much prefer Scorpion Express. Smiler is the best coaster at Towers. Is that the only one you spotted, Dave, when you were there? No, I know there's a lot of love for the Smiler. I do know there's a lot of love for a Smiler. I will keep that in mind. I appreciate that there's a lot of Smiler love out there. I'm not one of them. Sadly, I'm not one of them. You got on Thunder Looper once, I don't remember it. I tell you, it's a cred though, it's a cred. So all I remember getting on Thunder Looper was you kind of, I just remember watching it and just thinking, I'd never seen a launch one before. I'd never been to Blackpool to see sort of the Iron Brew Revolution. And I think even then, back when I was much younger, I probably would have looked at the Iron Brew Revolution, just thought it just sort of fell off the end, went round and just sort of did it by gravity, didn't really have much of a launch to it. But I remember looking at Thunder Looper thinking, how? Because it just didn't, I just don't know how it did it. Back then I didn't know how it did it, and even now it's quite revolutionary now, to be honest, compared to kind of the systems we have now. It's a kind of drop weight and just off it goes. But yeah, I remember looking at it and I was so intimidated by it, and I think people forget just how tall it was, because obviously they had to remove this due to the height restriction, due to the height of it. And yeah, the second part was massive. It was really massive, and to look at with just a lap bar as well was staggering, and that's really what I remember to it. I'm really pleased, really pleased I got on that. Interesting theme on the Smiler. I still don't get it. I just think it was a little bit wasted. I don't find the Smiler rough, but I like Gwazi. I don't find the Smiler rough. I think Kurt's right. The last two inversions really ruined the ride. And whilst I love the music, I don't like the theme. At all. Gwazi wasn't the worst coaster I've been on. Gwazi wasn't the worst by any means. But I can see why it closed, and I can see why they are RMCing it up now. Is it weird? My favourite roller coaster is 13. No, I have a lot of love for 13. Anyone that follows the channel will know that I have a lot of love for 13. So while we're on 13, and to go with Kieran's next one as well, obviously back in 1992, you kind of went around the park in order. It wasn't really known that you would kind of skip to one area and come back. You kind of just went round in order. So I remember we did the Runaway Mine Train because everyone was going there. We did the River Rapids, and then we did Haunted House, and then we went round and did Thunder Looper and the New Beast. I can't remember what other rides were there then. I remember then getting on the Sky Rail to go across, and of course, what was in its place there was the Corkscrew. The Corkscrew was one of my, and is still one of my favourite roller coasters I ever went on. And it might sound crazy because it certainly wasn't the smoothest. Who got on the Corkscrew? Would you like Rita to be removed, or is there a different coaster you'd like to say goodbye to? Rita, I'd love to see the end of Rita. Absolute pointless ride. If you're going to have a launch coaster, it's got to have an interesting layout. It's got to have. I understand they got it cheap, I think because Stealth was late or they did a double deal or something, but I just think it was just so badly placed, that ride. When you look at what Rita has built in VR, you can see around a lot of trees have been removed, so I think they dictated the design of Rita. Yeah, potentially, actually, potentially. Of course, the Bone Shaker used to be down there as well. So, yeah, Bone Shaker used to be down there. I'm sure they had another flat ride down there as well. I'm not sure if the 1001 Nights was down there. Someone have to let me know if 1001 Nights was down there, because I can't remember where it was. But, you know, that also dictated slightly as well. What do you think of Walking Dead the ride? Better than it's ever been. That's all I can say. Really disappointed about the height restriction change in terms of it's only the only family roller coaster for Fort Park, but better than I've ever seen it before. Get arrested for loving 13. Thanks, Dave. And good evening, Crispy 2009. So yeah, the Corkscrew. Who got on the Corkscrew? Who got on the Corkscrew? Because we had two Corkscrews in the country. We obviously had the one at Alton Towers, and we also had the one at Flamingo Land. And I was lucky to ride both. As far as I'm aware, there was never another one in the country. There was only ever the two. And you know, the Alton Towers one, I just loved it. I thought it was absolutely incredible, especially on the back seat. You know, we talk about back seats and airtime. The Corkscrew was one of those on the back seat, was just amazing, just utterly incredible. And I think the one at Flamingo Land was a little bit more comfortable. It actually had extra padding around the head, so rather than just to pull down, you had the additional padding. For those that have been on Infusion will know exactly what I mean by that. It had a very similar one. But I love the Corkscrew. You know, I didn't find it uncomfortable. There were a few jerky moments, to be honest. The seats have never been that comfortable on any Arrows rides at all that I've ever been on. They're quite hard. So yeah, and you know, the Corkscrew, I miss it. I missed the Corkscrew massively. And of course there was no Rita then, so you walked in to a lovely open area, and there was the Corkscrew in the back, and it never really did get themed. I know they had Ugland theming eventually, but it always looked like, you know, a building site, and it just been plonked there. It was classic. I understand why they got rid of it, but it was classic. You did your job at recreating Ramesses. Thank you very much. Definitely inspired there on the Planet Coaster. Corkscrew at Towers hurt my neck. It did sting a lot of people. It did hurt a lot of people, and I understand completely why they got rid of it. Theme Park and Zoo crazy. I'm on my trampoline. I'm seeing how long I can stand it. I've done 4 hours so far. I'll be able to sleep outside. God, it's too hot. It's too hot for trampolining. But good luck to you. Let us know. Let us know in the comments afterwards how long you stayed on there for. Towers should have used the towers to make another dark ride like Hex. Imagine well-themed dungeons could be. Funnily enough, I do think the dungeons are well-themed, but I 100% agree. You know, totally wasted building. And even I'm hoping we get something good from David Walliams Land, because that's our next dark ride. Tony, hi, I'm very well, and happy Easter to you as well, and happy Easter to everyone. My favourite ride is easily Hex. Love Hex. My favourite dark ride in the UK, borderline with Wireless and Gromit. This is just Coke, Dave, today. Just Coke. No ciders today, just Coke. Got work early in the morning. Daniel, did you see the live stream? No, I still haven't got a chance to watch the live stream of the capybaras. I've been ridiculously busy this week. But it is on my to-do list. Trevor, hello. Thanks for joining us. My only memory of the Corky was my mum in her mid-20s. She had me young, and she was in 80s fashion. Her friends take on there because she was too scared. Yeah, funny enough, when I went with my sister, and her half didn't want to go on it either. Funnily enough, he didn't want to go on it, and it was just me and her that went on it. And I think the following time I went, in '94, for Nemesis reopening, I think I was the only one that went on it. Yeah, it was. The problem is that, again, you know, whilst we did have like Revolution, you know, people didn't get around the country as much as what they used to. So, you know, when you got to Alton Towers, you knew the Corkscrew was there. And, you know, when you came up to it and you saw this coaster that went upside down at great speeds from a great height. It was really intimidating. I know. I remember back in '92 when I saw it for the first time, and I just thought, how is that even possible? Even after seeing the vampire and seeing what the vampire could do, I just thought, how is that even possible? And it had been there. It had been there since 1980. I dread to think if I'd have gone in 1980, what it would have, what the initial impression of that would have been. I just think it would have been incredible. Jelly Swinger is the best themed wave swinger. That's the one down at Harbour Park. What would I replace Darren Brown's Ghost Train with at Fort Park? Anything. Anything at all. No Jack Daniels. I don't like Jack Daniels, to be honest with you, Dave. Set up a green screen. I could put one here, couldn't I? Put one behind me. Corkscrew and Massive Q. The Corkscrew is in Sweden now and it's coloured red. Is that the Flamingo Land one? I don't know where the Flamingo Land one went. I remember when they dismantled it, I watched it go around the M25. We followed it around the M25 from, and I knew what it was because I'd only been on it a year before. And then, again, this is time before sort of internet and rumours. So, you just knew. I just remember looking at it we went in 2007, might have been 2009. Can't remember which one it was now, and I just remember seeing it, and I knew exactly what it was when I saw it. I knew it was the track of the Flamingo Land Corkscrew going round, and it was, and that's when we found out that it had gone. But Corkscrew was such an intimidating ride. It was just, so intimidating. It really, really was intimidating, and gutted it left, but do understand why. And of course, up that end as well, when you walked along, you had Doom and Sons. Doom and Sons was kind of down the back, and then I can't even remember what was in Cloud Cuckoo Land back in 1992. I can't remember. There was no Hex or anything like that. It would have been Festival Land, Festival whatever it was as well when we went around the corner. So again, I think the difference was with Black Hole, because Black Hole was a really quite intimidating ride, but not till you got on it, because unless you'd been on it, you had no idea what the Black Hole was about. Just no idea whatsoever. You queued for it. You didn't. I wasn't even sure in '92 if I was getting on a coaster or what I was doing. To be honest with you, didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I remember getting on it and thinking, why am I sat on my own here? Really old style design. And again, back in '92, I was only 11 years old. So it was, again, there was no internet. It was very hard to find out information, to actually, to find out what the ride was about. You just didn't know. You saw the wonderful imagery, and Alton Towers have always been good at promotional imaging, to be fair. I mean, they managed to flog 13 as a thrill ride, even though it clearly wasn't. And you just see this, hole, like a black hole. There I say, how stupid it sounds, like a black hole. I had no idea what it was until I got on it, and that terrified me. Coming off that top track, especially when it was going up, terrifying. I remember seeing the Big Head Cliff in American Adventure. I think it was too tall. They had a double looper, didn't they? Yeah, they did have one. I've never gone on it myself, but they did have a double looper indeed. I remember the Caterpillar was at Harbour Park. The track is still there now. They still have a Caterpillar, don't they? Harbour Park? I'm sure they still have a Caterpillar. Do you think Winter Wonderland will go ahead at the moment? John did a ride up. Make sure he enjoys his time on the tower. Yeah, I think it will go ahead. And I think, as Dave said a bit further down, it probably, won't have any rides from Europe in it. I would imagine it's going to be, I think it would be a UK only one. There's a roller coaster I love where the big one is now yellow tent over at the top. Don't remember what it's called. No, I didn't get to Blackpool till 2007. I was well off the ball. Well off the ball on Blackpool. And there's so many great rides at Blackpool I'd love to have ridden. Virginia Reel would have been top of my list of riding that. Cloud Cuckoo Land's traditional looking town thing, so much better than how it looks today. I vaguely remember that a car ride, a vintage car ride with a teddy in it. Kurt might remember this. Yeah, I don't remember a lot from it. Winter Wonderland has a coaster that put my top 10. I forgot what it's called. My God, it's so good. Winter Wonderland, it's had a few, but Olympia Looping, I would imagine, would be top of most people's list. I don't personally like it myself. I find it really uncomfortable. I find it really uncomfortable. It's now the ocean coaster. Didn't they just retheme it though? Isn't it still the crazy caterpillar, just with an ocean-based one? I honestly don't know. Honestly don't know. I haven't been down there. I said to you before, I meant to get down there. Probably my theme park, a favourite theme park memory must be the Swedish trip to our ERTs at Lisburg. Get a chance to ride Wildfire. Yeah. And a behind the scenes as well. Oh, looks a good ride. It looks a good ride. And it was on my list of things to do. On my list of things to do. And Dave, I think we all know, even if it's only UK rides, they're still going to charge £8 a go for a twister or something like that. But you know, we've got some good rides in the UK. They can pull a couple out of theme parks as well if they really wanted to. They could make a good event out of it. But yeah, it would be nice if it wasn't so expensive. So yeah, Black Hole. Who got on the Black Hole? Because Black Hole was a cracking attraction. And you know, it only shut because it was gonna. Well, oddly, it only shut because it was going to cost too much to get the stairwell to go up, because you needed a stairwell to go an evacuation. Apparently, you didn't need it when the ride opened. When health and safety changed, that's when they decided they closed it. So the ride, I think, was commissioned for the year on like the 26th or 27th of March or something ridiculous like that. And then obviously they were planning to open it for the new year, and in the end they didn't. They couldn't open it because of needing changes. So they did actually open it for a farewell event on like the 20th of March, just before the theme park opened. So yeah, you know, that was brilliant. Yeah, I loved it. Loved the Black Hole. Got on it quite a few times actually, but got on it quite a few times. Yeah, we need to support all our local UK parks and the fun fairs, particularly fun fairs when they reopen. You know, the theme parks will definitely suck it up. People will go back out. They'll continue to buy, you know, annual passes and things. Let me just slightly readjust this. They'll continue to buy annual passes and things. And yeah, the fairs are gonna need our support. 100% need our support once everything reopens again. You must all get down there. Hi Mario, thank you for coming for the stream. Twister was only 6 tokens. Bargain, Dave, bargain. Did you write it twice? To be fair, the lineup is the reason why I didn't go to Winter Wonderland last year. I just couldn't justify it at all. I went on the Black Hole once and all lights was on. I have no good memories of it. Oh, you know, on one hand, that's a shame. On the other hand, it's like, that would be absolutely incredible. I'd love to do it. I would love to do it. Oh, yeah, we'd love to have done it with the lights on. Same for X No Way Out, actually. I did do that with the lights on, and that was a really different experience. Really, really different experience that was. Hi Ben, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming in. Which roller coaster would you change at Chesington, Thorpe Park, Alton Towers, and Legoland? What, as in move them around, or which ones would I swap out for something else? Bring back Circus to Winter Wonderland? Yeah, 100% agree. Or get the one at Fantasy Island running a little bit better. That'd be great. My favourite memory was first going to Fright Nights. Ooh, which year was that? I first went to Alton Towers in 2014. I went on the Flume and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, both obviously rides which have now left us. I have heard Merlin have applied for the government grant. Worryingly, I wouldn't be surprised. It looked pathetic with the lights on. Yeah. Like the only time I got on Space Mountain, I had the same issue. Yeah, I mean, I've seen POVs of Space Mountain with the lights on, and that does look terrible. And that is a very, very different ride to not have the lights on. They do have the AT Black Hole called the Rocket. Yes, the Black Hole is still around, very much still around, very much still functioning. Favourite ride at Legoland? Wow. When it works, probably Ninjago. I think the technology behind that is fantastic. I really think that is absolutely fantastic. When it doesn't work, Spinning Spider, we always have a good time. Last year I got a marathon at El Toro. Oh, don't. I'd love to do that. I can't imagine anything else has to top that, to be honest with you. So, new rides. Ooh, I'm going to have a think about that. We will come back to it. I love the Flume. Lightwater Valley should have taken it from the bins in Alton Towers. Yeah, Lightwater Valley, you know. Yeah, I mean, poor Lightwater Valley. Winter Wonderland will be completely different this year. it's going to be really, we've got to see how the world pans out now. I see Boris is out. Boris has done a little thing. It's good to see him back and running. Maybe we can get this all functioning now. When I got the fast pass at Cedar Point, rode Maverick over and over. Yeah. Cedar Point, Coast Connections, one of my must visit places. Must visit places. I was going to say before I'm 40, but I'm running out of time. I'm desperately running out of time. Yeah, December is a long time away. So they were my memories of 1992 at Alton Towers. You know, I remember the imposing figure of the Corkscrew when I saw it. It was staggering. I remember my face. I actually have an on-ride photo of me on the Black Hole from 1992, and yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting photo. And yeah, you know, there were two really imposing figures. I don't remember a lot of the flat rides because they would have had, you know, 1001 Nights then. I remember the Energizer back then as it was before it moved to the Bone Shaker. But yeah, I don't remember as much as what I do in 1994, which was my second visit to Alton Towers. Still on trampoline, good job. Who'll be the first to the theme park? That'll be me. Hi Adam, would you swap Harbour Park for the old, yeah, 100%, the old Billy Smart's amusement. They had a, for those familiar with Harbour Park, we do seem to have quite a few people local actually, back in the day, the coaster used to be over the entrance. It used to sit on top, the Pinferry coaster, which was eventually moved over the back and is now a crazy golf course. And it used to sit over the entrance, and as you walked in, they used to have a Matterhorn there, a snow type ride. I'm sure it used to be called like the Abominable Snow or something, and it was incredible, absolutely incredible. But my main memory from the Billy Smarts one was the ghost train. As you walked in on the right hand side, there was a permanent ghost train built into the building. Oh, it's amazing. Anyone that's been to Harbour Park, Raymond, Daniel, anyone like that, let me know. Did you ever get on that ghost train? Dave would have been well happy with that ghost train. Promise you, Dave, you'd have been happy with that ghost train. Am I looking forward to Christmas? God, Christmas is too far away, Mary. It really is. Have all these annual passes, when I've been able to get refunds or credits for their passes? Well, I was under the understanding they were stopping collecting payments. However, it appears they haven't, because I've heard a few people say that payments have gone out. So, not sure. Anyone has, let David know. Ben, it's good to see the Black Hole Coaster running another park. Goes to show old coasters still be run and maintained, refurbished and maintained. Absolutely. And it was never a rough coaster. I think capacity was always the main issue on it, to be honest with you. I just wonder, like, your chance of having going to Alton Towers this year. Oh, I hope we get there, Kieran. I really hope we do. I think the growing issue of Winter Wonderland has been slowly hiking up the prices. Last year for me was just unaffordable. It just wasn't worth it. I love Wickstead Park for scenery and walks. I always create a park and games if I play. If I've ever a billionaire, I'm buying and installing an RMC. Yeah, fair play to you. You've been to Harbour Park? Harbour Park as well. I had the horror hotel, the walkthrough. Who did that? One of the best attractions anyone has ever been through. Honestly, absolutely incredible. Have I been to any parks in the US? The Florida parks. So I've been to the Florida ones, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, the Disney parks, Universal Islands of Adventure. Had an amazing time, but yeah, I wanted to wait for the kids to get a little bit older before I headed back out there. Yeah, again, Christmas just too far away. Have you any footage? Can I use your footage in my video? What footage would you like? Let me know. I think theme parks will be open before fairs. I 100% agree. I think theme parks will be open before fairs, because I agree with you, Dave. I think public spaces might still be closed. Clarence Pier in the 90s was fantastic. Super Looper ride. Another terrifying ride, the Super Looper. Absolutely terrifying. I remember seeing that. I wasn't tall enough to go on it. My sister went on it first time round when we went down there. Yeah. Brings back memories of the magic carpet at Chesington. Anyone remember seeing that little ghost girl in the haunted house at Alton Towers? The effects are so simple yet good. Yeah, that's the one at the end, I believe. I've actually got a little picture of it in my cupboard. Mighty Mini Mega is the best coaster at Adventure Island. I'll tell you what, that's really smooth. Really smooth coaster. Favourite ride at Brighton Pier? Air race. 100% air race. 100%. Flume or Wicker Man? It would be Wicker Man. But I miss having a flume there. In Between Us filmed an episode, did they? Did they film an episode down at Harbour Park? Ah. Well. I never got the ghost train, however, it did get the slide before it went. Yes, the slide. Is the slide gone? Is the slide gone now? I thought it was still there. Wow. Air Race doesn't have its wings anymore. Did it not? It had them a couple of weeks ago. They're gone. They're gone. Is that because they keep falling off and trying to kill people? Turbo Smooth. Turbo is one of the worst coasters I've ever been on, Dave. Corkscrew or Icon? It would definitely be Icon. I've got a lot of love for Icon. Do you ever do a vlog from Harbour Park? We did do one a couple of years ago. We got told off. I got called all kinds of names for filming children on there, even though I had 2 children with me that were riding the names. And then I had to chat with the manager who told me everything that was going on in the park. Yeah, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it, but I will try and get back down there this year, I promise, because there is a bit of interest in it. That ghost train on Western-super-Mare is probably the best one in the country now. Western-super-Mare. Don't know if I've been on that one. Is that the one at Bream? Sorry, the one at Bream. Well, the one at Bream's quite good, yeah. I got on the air before it became Galactica. Pre-master of Alton Towers ghost train, yeah. It wasn't when I went to the Grand Manual Pass. Oh, right. How strange. They were working on the ARS the last time I was down there. The ice cream parlour where Giles Women is like Licky's Cornetto. I'll have to go back and look at that. Doing a video on Toadies and the Rangers. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem at all. I think we just put a 4K video up of Toadies. So yeah, my next visit to Alton Towers, I'm going to share my memories, was 1994. And it was for Nemesis. It was for Nemesis, and I remember being dragged to Nemesis, and I've said this many times before. You know, my sister was like, we're going to Nemesis, this wonderful new coaster and everything like that. And I was like, well, you know, do I want to? And I remember walking up to Nemesis, and I looked at it, and it had a 2.5 hour queue. And we were there fairly quickly, in honesty. We were there really quickly. And I refused to go on it, point blank. And she dragged me on it, and we queued, and I was terrified. I know people look at these rides now, and I don't think there's been a ride in ages where I've looked at and thought, God, that thing looks terrifying. Even on roller coasters or anything like that, I just don't think there has been. But Nemesis, when I first looked at it again, you know, I'd already gone from Vampire in 1990 thinking, wow, what is this thing swinging through the trees, to Corkscrew in 1992. I appreciate it opened early, but that's when I first saw it. Yeah, I just looked at Nemesis and just thought, that is totally incredible piece of machinery, the way it was zooming around the track. And it scared the crap out of me. It really did scare the crap out of me. Ben, I have a ghost train inside the Western-super-Mare pair. Do they? I did not know that. I did not know that. The slide is still there, but it's standing not operating. I didn't realise that. I thought the slide was still open down there. Who's going to Coaster Crazy Q&A starting at 8? Yeah, Tony, I'll be going to that. We'll be wrapped up by then, don't worry. Alton Towers remastered it. Looks like a downgrade. Do you like Pleasurewood Hills? I do like Pleasurewood Hills. I have been on Wipeout a few times. I quite like Wipeout, actually. I know there's not a lot of love for boomerangs. Yeah, Wipeout, I loved it. I think it's a great ride. They've done a lot of work on that. Thoughts on how Merlin maintained the theming of all their attractions? They just replaced it with something else 20 years down the line, Kieran. That's all they do. You've done the ghost train. Yeah, I haven't been to Breen in a few years, actually. So we'll need to head to Breen. Coaster Crazy live at 7. Don't say that, Sophie. Don't say that. I was so bored on my trampoline. I saw you doing the live, so I can stay on it now. Yeah, stay on it. First Who Loves the Woman, the band Blondie and Nemesis. Oh, bless. I vaguely remember a school trip back in the 90s to Alton Towers when the schools were still around. Didn't do much from playing Simpsons arcade game. What a game that was. What a game the Simpsons arcade game was. I spent many a time down in Hayden Island playing that when we used to have a caravan down there. What a game. Favourite ride Chesney is Cobra. Just needs to work a little bit better. Breen's new indoor coaster used to be at Pleasure Beach. Yes. Went on it at Space Invader 2 at Pleasure Beach. And Kurt, was it Cody? Was it Cody and me that got stuck on it at Astro Storm? Can't remember now. Can't remember. But we got stuck on it. I took Cody. I'm sure it was Cody. I took Cody on it, and it got stuck at the top of the lift hill, and nobody noticed. And no joke, we were on there 10 minutes, and I had to phone my partner to alert them that we were stuck on it because worryingly, they hadn't noticed we were stuck. They were apparently still out of front. Yes, it was me and Cody. And then I got my phone out of my pocket. For anyone that's been on the Astro Storm, it's quite difficult. It's quite a tight space for you to get in and out of. Yeah, it was a real difficulty to get my phone back in. And this guy came up and he had a right go at me for having my phone out. Bear in mind, I had to use my phone in order to actually ring to get them to get me off. He had a right go at me. And then, funny enough, we've talked about riding rides with the lights on. I then had to ride. We then had to ride the Astro Storm with the light on, but we did get our coaster, our credits back afterwards, which was great. Oh, he's gonna go. I can't go because of Coaster Crazy. He'll be a while yet. It'll be a while yet before he gets up and running. Thanks for saying. I also remember Vampire Ride Chesney when I studied original station music, sync with the organ player. The music they use now doesn't, and it's a different version. Well, funny enough, actually, it is a different version, the one they used in 2020, but it does now sync again with the lights and the organist. So they've kind of taken sort of a step back to greatness with it, but they have changed the music. I do remember it when it's synced, and that organist, I don't think people realise just how many light and changes that the Vampire has gone through over the years. It's just been incredible. You know, they've had bright lights, they've had, you know, they used to have a strobe light in there. It just used to be all white at some point. But yeah, the soundtrack is growing on me. I've heard it, you know, because I took a few recordings, and yeah, it's growing on me. It is growing on me. But I think when we all get back, then we'll kind of realise what's going on. Alton Towers could bring back the red water at Nemesis. Yeah, I really wish they would. Wicker Man already has fire and mist. It shouldn't be turned off, as far as I'm aware, but usually is. Get the maps out. Maps are upstairs. I'm sorry, the maps are upstairs. They take ages to get, and I've lost a couple as well. I'm furious. I can't find a couple when I looked for Zach the other day for some. Yeah, it's growing on me. I wish they'd themed the cars on the Vampire. Yeah, wheel covers. Wheel covers go a long way. I know they said to put wheel covers on, they would actually have to physically bolt them in and unscrew them every day. I believe the B&M wheel covers are just a plastic clip. So you can just clip them on and off, which is why you'll find Nemesis Inferno always have them on. So, but apparently on the Vampire, they did actually order the trains. The Tacoma trains do come with covers on, but they can't. It's just physically not possible to use them because of the detail on getting them on and off. But you know, on that, covers would go such a long way on the Vampire. Really would, and it would stop pigeons getting hit as well. There's quite a few times where pigeons have hit the wheels, and it would stop that. You know, they're not just there to look pretty. They are actually there for a reason. To be honest with you. Mate lost his phone on Nickelodeon Streak at Blackpool. So comfortable though, and you just sink so far back. I'm kind of not that surprised, to be honest. I'm really not. I wish they'd done that one. The Organist is a centerpiece show for the Vampire. It is, and at least it's working. We saw someone lose their phone on stealth. Yeah. And you know the worst part was when we saw someone lose their phone on stealth, they actually managed to hold it the whole ride round, and then as they got to the turnaround point, the really slow bit going back into the station, they dropped it into the water. Hilarious. I can't even say it wasn't. It was absolutely hilarious. The Alton Towers, 1994 Nemesis. Yeah, frightening times. And I also did Thunder Looper again that year. The queue was still massive for it as well, but also did Thunder Looper again that year. And then the Corkscrew as well, and the Black Hole as well. And of course, 1994 Toyland Tours opened. And I'd kind of been on the bubble works quite a few times by the time Toyland Tours had opened. So it was magical. I loved Toyland Tours. Loved it. When they ripped that out and put Charlie and Chocolate Factory, I was gutted. Absolutely gutted. Now, oddly enough, after 1994, again, I don't really remember the old McDonald's farm that well from the early 90s, because I don't think that's changed much. I know the rides and attractions have sort of changed, but I don't think that's changed an awful lot over that time. But we just didn't go in there. At all. The the next time I visited was the open day of Air. So there was quite a big gap between 1994 and 2002. And since 2002, I've been to Alton Towers every single year. You know, again, Air was, you know, because obviously I missed Oblivion opening. Which, you know, that was actually probably the last ride I looked at and I was terrified to look at. Not so much now, but yeah, that was terrifying. Really was, to look at Oblivion. Let me know in the comments, what did you think when you first saw Oblivion? You know, was it back sort of in the day, or was it sort of, you know, more recently? Because I think more recently you're probably slightly less scared of what you would have been back in the you know, late 90s, early 2000s. Seen someone drop their phone on Samurai and land on its back and not the screen, slid down. The guy was lucky. Wow, that is lucky. Yeah, we spotted those people drop it. We did. Blackpool needs to get rid of Valhalla and put a new coaster in. I think they're going to spend a lot of money on Valhalla this year. But seeing where they've managed to put Icon, it'd be really interesting to see if they can get another coaster in at the Pleasure Beach, or indeed maybe ditch the big one. Maybe upgrade it slightly. I got stuck on the Fun Looper when I was young. Restraint stuck closed, had to go again. Yeah, there's quite a few old rides that were like that, actually. There are quite a few old rides that, if the restraints didn't open, you had to go again. Do you remember the Super Looper at Clarence Pier? Yeah, I do remember the Super Looper at Clarence Pier. Super Looper was, again, quite terrible. They were actually really, really big. I can't believe that Six Flags have got them. In kind of all of their parks, and yet we don't have a single one in the UK. I'm staggered. We don't have a single one in the UK now. I never did a Thunder Loop, but Nemesis did look scary when it first opened to the public, especially when we saw Red Water. Yeah, and of course it wasn't as grown up as what it is now as well. So Red Water could be seen from like miles away. What coaster would Chessington get next? I hope Family Woody. So going back to the earlier question which I got, Lego, you know, what would we open across the reindeers? So Chessington, I'd like to see 13-star ride open at Chessington. I would love to see a 13-star ride open at Chessington. I just think it would be incredible to have that ride there. You know, it could be themed something a little bit happier than 13, or it could go down in the wild woods and be themed like that. I think it would be incredible. Legoland need a coaster, not a dino coaster. They need a coaster of some description, whether it be a, you know, mini launch one, low level. They need something special, really, really special, to put them on the map, which they don't have. Fort Park needs to be tidied up. Just needs to be tidied up. Funnily enough, I don't know whether Fort Park need a new roller coaster. They have some cracking roller coasters. It just needs to be tidied up, and, you know, the theme put into place right the way across the theme park. And Fort Park will be incredible. I think a couple of flat rides wouldn't go astray. And Alton Towers need flat rides. 100% need flat rides. I can't, you know, I know John Worley's always said that, you know, roller coasters make the theme park and flat rides don't, but you've got to have something else to go on. That's what Alton Towers have. So they would be my installations at the 4 Merlin parks, 100%. So yeah, you know, what would they get next? I can't see Chessington getting a Woody. I can't imagine they could keep the noise down enough to get one, to be honest. Daniel, Oblivion terrified me the first time, still does today. Yeah, I know a lot of people it does. I think they're refurbishing it, bringing it up to date. Yeah, I think they are. I think Valhalla will open with a bang next year. Best time to go to Alton Towers would be sort of just before Easter, to be honest with you. And then just after Easter, and then sort of late September is a good time to go to Alton Towers, which will hopefully be the next quiet point. Blackpool really got lucky with the downtime of Valhalla this year. Yeah, they did. It's not costing them anything. Oblivion still makes me nervous. Being on Countless Butterflies, but Oblivion still makes butterflies going. And yeah, I went on SheiKra, and SheiKra didn't have the same effect on me as what Oblivion did. Yeah, I find Oblivion, the top of the drop at Oblivion, I found much more than SheiKra. SheiKra didn't really seem to have anything going, to be honest. It just didn't. I lost all my money on the Super Looper at Clarence Pier. I'm not surprised at all. That thing was odd, really odd. As it's unique in some ways, I can't think of many world rides that roll in the effects of Valhalla. No, when they're all working, no, 100% not. The loop in the start, Moorgate was called Brennan Bros. Oh, didn't know that. 13-star ride at Chesington would be amazing. It's such an underrated coaster. I think it is. I think it is. If it's advertised right, I think it is. Blackpool need overhaul their existing woodies. Yeah, I think Grand National. Oh, dread. That's a ride that terrifies me. That's a ride that terrifies me. I remember Legoland always being a lane. The queues were always too long, and the boys too old to go on it. Yeah, some of the new rides are quite entertaining actually, but again, it's difficult. It's difficult. Keeping noise down at Cheshunt, but the loudest lift hill known to man. Yeah, I don't know how they haven't managed to quieten down at lift hill. Just rubber or something. I don't know. I'm really shocked they haven't. Parks. I think the parks will definitely open this year. I think they will. Do you think Blackpool will delay Valhalla until 2022? Well, I'm kind of hoping that in the design stage and everything that they're doing with Valhalla, that quite honestly, they could still get quite a lot of the planning done now. So I don't know. If we're still in this predicament in 3-4 months' time, then potentially. But I have a feeling in 2 months' time they will have started work. It looked like they already started on it, ripping bits out. So yeah, be interesting to see. What do you think the future is for Toon Blast? The ride system's old and breaks. Toon Blast has had a full refurbishment. The future's bright. Have faith. The future is bright. Don't hold it against you at the top of Oblivion now, which no, they don't. Wouldn't be surprised. They're by the part. Yeah, blame the noise. Hi Molly, happy Easter. Thank you for joining. Really wish Alton Towers would invest in more flat rides. Yeah, you know, it just needs something else to do. That's the problem. It needs something else to do. Do I think Halloween attractions will open this year? Well, I don't know. To be honest with you, if we can get a vaccine for this pandemic by then I don't think there'll be a panic. But if we haven't, I think there might be a panic. It will come back. Kurt's saying no. Kurt's saying straight no. Straight no to that. The virtual park is looking really good. I have seen some bits on the virtual park from Screw Loops. Looking really, really good on there. So yeah. Incredible, actually. Looks absolutely incredible. Builders are key workers, so hopefully Blackpool and Chesington are still working. No, I don't know. I don't know either, to be honest with you. Chesington were definitely there for Vampire Day on Saturday. There were definitely people in the park there, 100%. So yeah, hopefully they're still tidying up and doing bits and pieces. When I built Oblivion, they had an actor. Yeah, they did. They did. I remember they had actors actually for Oblivion. I remember seeing it. As I said, I didn't go, but I remember seeing it. And yeah, they had full uniform people out there. It's like security guards, didn't they? Security guards saying, go away, go away. And of course, photos and things weren't really there. Oh, the virtual park I'm working on, Ben. Sorry, I thought you meant the Alton Towers one. My roller coaster tycoon, Planet Coaster one. Thank you. Yes, it is coming along nicely. It is coming along. I've just built a Conjuring ride. I don't know what possessed me to do it. I don't even know how good it looks. But oh my God, it's taken me hours. It's taken me hours to do. In terms of coasters, making a good theme park, I would say a good dark ride helps. Yeah, Fort Park had Fantasia, Wicked Witch's Haunt. Yeah, when we say what could Darren Brown's Ghost Train be, it could have been that. It could have been that. Could have been that. Even in lockdowns, this is social distancing will still be a thing. How can theme parks maintain? Well, oddly enough, theme parks are all right once you get inside for social distancing. Generally, it's the queuing outside. It's the fact they don't open the park and you all queue outside. That was the main problem going into, the Chesington closing part. It was the outside part. It was an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I don't think parks will open until very late this year. Wow, Kurt. I think parks will be open in June. That's my guess. I think we'll be going back to theme parks in June, and I think we'll be going back to fairs in August. That's my guess. Write it down, it's my guess. 5 hours on a trampoline. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So Vampire turned 30 years old. I'm staggered. They always said the Arrows rides had about a 20 to 25 year life, but realistically they should have had more 30 to 40 year life. it's amazing that Vampire's made it to 30 years. It's a real shame it didn't get a repaint this year. Not a spray, a repaint. Because one thing the drone footage does highlight is that it kind of the paint looks awful. Bless it, the paint looks awful. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know how they're going to do that. But Vampire, it's great to see some love. It's great to see some love. Who went on Vampire when it was back trains? Let us know. Who went on Vampire when it was back trains? Compact queues inside park, cafes and restaurants. Staff can't check seatbelts from 6 feet away. They were doing all right, Kurt. To be honest, they were doing all right. You've got to have a bit of faith that if we bring it all down, that we've got to go back to normality at some point and take the risks to go back. Do you think Thorpe Park should bring back Bouncilla? They were going to bring back Bouncilla this year. They do own it. It was due back. I don't think they will now, even when the park reopens. Feel really bad for the fair community. Just hope hasn't hit too hard financially. Yes. Gutted for the fair community. And I think our next live stream will be fair based as well. You'll be pleased to hear we will do a fair based one. We're going to share some of our favourite fair rides that we've been on over the years, because we've actually been visiting fairs for longer than we've been visiting theme parks. Although, because we don't shout about it as much as some, we don't get the credit for it, but we do. We genuinely do. Apparently, rumour government wants to lift lockdown by May the 4th or 25th. Yeah, I've heard that. I think obviously the lockdown will be extended past next week. I don't think there'll be a doubt about that. And then hopefully, we can see a change in stance. But people have just got to stay home at the moment. People have just got to stay home. I've seen, and Dave sent me some pictures earlier as well. I'd seen a couple of them, but the other pier, the South Pier in Portsmouth, is building new rides on it as we speak. Because they're builders, they're building new rides on it. So they've got a brand new Crazy Caterpillar going on there, Dodgems and some other rides as well. And I just think, is it essential that they are building rides on there right now? I think the answer has to be no. No, it's not. And I don't think it helps. Do you ever think the Vampire will get a retrack? Actually, Vampire's had quite a lot of its track replaced over the years. I'm not sure whether you knew that, but the Vampire's had quite a lot of track replaced over the years, particularly in the Arrows years. I said Arrows Trains years, when you watch any of the old videos of the old bat trains swinging out, the stress which it put on the track was one of the main reasons for the downtime and everything. So yeah. It's had some retrack. Will it have a complete one? It needs it. I think they will. I genuinely think they will. They won't ever get permission to put another ride there. I think Vekoma can build track for them. I think it's Vekoma that have done the track for them. So they're best just keeping that ride going now. Whatever it takes, just keep that ride going. I shall hope the park's clean and do some litter picking in this time. Yeah, I've heard Brighton is quite bad. Nearly as bad as London. We were in Brighton just before lockdown, to be honest with you. We were at a theatre show there. Yeah. But sad times everywhere. I know people that have, friends that have had family members die of it now. So it really hit home for me. I work in a shop, so I see people every single day. It's very, very hard. Very, very hard. June's when we start to turn normality, but it'll be in phases. Yeah, sadly, I think the shops will open first. If the theme parks reopen, all they've got to do, they've just got to sort out the queuing outside. 100% was the main problem. Inside was brilliant. Inside was no problems whatsoever. But outside queue, it's like people arrive at the park, you've got to let them in. Got to let them into the park, even if nothing's open. Got to let them into the park. Let them queue. So that's something the parks are going to have to work on 100%. Legoland was really, really bad for that. Every single year they let you in to go around Miniland, and then this year they didn't when there's a pandemic on. It was quite staggering, to be honest with you. Quite staggering. But social distancing will definitely remain a thing. And funnily enough, I think it will be in the back of people's heads now for years to come. Years to come. Didn't like 13. Not as disappointed as Hagrid. I haven't been on Hagrid yet. It does look stunning, Hagrid. It does look stunning, to be honest with you. Right, well, we've shared our first. I wanted to share my first thoughts of Alton Towers. Alton Towers back in ILG. Come back again. Alton Towers back where I first visited in 92, 94, because Alton Towers is celebrating its 40th year. Staggering. And you know, there's so much that changed. You know, Alton Towers was very much a sort of fair attraction. You know, I think Chesington was the very first theme park, so the it's changed massively into a theme park, which you see now, and they still haven't got the theming right across the park, to be honest with you. I think the area is actually at Alton Towers are probably the worst we've got at any Merlin parks. To be honest with you, I can't think of one of them that stands out that I would have in any of my theme parks. I really couldn't. Do you think theme parks and fairs will be open during the close season? Yeah, I think we might see some extended opening, and if they're sensible, they will. Mario, have I been to the Harry Potter studios? Yes. The video is on the channel as one of my highest viewed videos at sort of 250,000. We were one of the very first people to film at Harry Potter Studios. We went literally a couple of weeks after it opened. Happy birthday to Alton Towers indeed. Happy birthday. Sad, but how long do you think Nemesis has got left? That thing will be retracked forever. Forever, that thing. Surprised you got rid of the flume. Did Diana go on? Were we on about the... Diana went on the Fort Park one. I don't know if she went on the Alton Towers one. Did she go on the Alton Towers one? Not sure. But you know, the problem was, and I think this is the problem with the Flume and Loggers Leap, is that obviously now if you build a water ride now, you've got to have a water treatment segment with it. So any kind of massive refurbishment on these rides would have had to have taken the water treatment into account. So I just don't think it was worth it. And you know, there was nothing worse, genuinely nothing worse on the Flume and Loggers Leap, in particular Loggers Leap, going down into that water and being splashed by that water. It was horrid. Really, really horrid. Horrid. Hated it. Really, really hated it. So, you know, we see the two at the other Merlin parks stay open because they use fresh water systems, both one at Chesington and Legoland does. Does it stop them building another one? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. So it's a bit of a shame they haven't done it. Yeah, we'll keep Nemesis going. Do you have a favourite old Alton Towers ride? Molly, old Alton Towers ride. I really did like the Black Hole. But in terms of nice and relaxing, I think it would be Toyland Tours. I really miss, and I think Toyland Tours more because what they've replaced it with since. Which I haven't liked. Is Tiger Rock the best log flume in the UK? I think it's the most consistent log flume in the UK. You know, you could argue Storm Force 10. Storm Force 10 is a great log flume, but again, being drowned with lake water is just not my idea of fun, even on a hot day. It's just nothing nice about it at all. So yeah, when did that law come in? It came in quite a few years ago now. So if you already had one open, you could keep it open. But if you were going to make any modifications, or if you build a new log flume now, you have to use a fresh water system. Now, I don't know how that affects waterfalls and things. I don't know how confined the actual waterfall is on Nemesis. You know, they say it ruins the environment, but it must be a circuit of where it's going. You know, that whole pit was man-made. So if the whole pit was man-made on Nemesis, I'm struggling to see how it's part of the environment because it wasn't there to begin with. So yeah, I'm a little bit, yeah, not too sure about that. So good memories of Alton Towers, Fort Park and Chesington back in the 90s. They've all changed so much. Yeah, I don't see it so much in Chesington as much, but Fort Park particularly. You know, my first one about Fort Park was when they had boats on the lake, and you know they had, you know, the Sin 2000 and Space Station Zero and a double carousel in the dark. They are my Fort Park memories, and Miniland, Model World as well. Fort Park is undescribable from my first visit. There's nothing about Fort Park where I can now say I remember any of it other than a dome at all. I miss Pressburt's Bubble Works, yeah. Hate them for getting rid of that. Hate them. I heard Tiger Rock has to have brakes installed on its safety feature. It's had a lot of work done, Tiger Rock, over the last few years. The platforms that come out, the braking bits on the front, which were installed last year to stop it accidentally going over the top. It has been updated massively. That thing is here to stay for a while. My favourite Merlin theme park is also Chessington, 100%. When are we going to do another live video? What day are we? What are we? Sunday. Probably Thursday or Friday. We'll try and advertise it a little bit more in advance this time. This one was very impromptu. Get in there. Get in there. My favourite memories are when I went on all the rides at Chessington for the first time. Yeah. I remember Samurai. I remember seeing Samurai for the first time in 1999 and thinking, what is that? What is that? And I can't remember. I did ask and no one answered me. Was it the first top scan in the UK? I don't think it was. I'm sure it wasn't. But was it just a theme park first Samurai top scan? Someone let me know. Someone let me know. If anyone at Alton Towers is watching, yeah. I tell you what, LEDs is great. Just some red lights. I'll be happy with red lights. At the back at Land of the Tigers needs more theme in the first drop. Yeah, you can see a bit too much from Wild Asia actually of Land of the Tigers as well. And in the recent vlog that we did note how sort of around the back it intrudes into Tomb Blaster, which I don't like. I don't like the way the fencing goes on Tomb Blaster. I don't like it. I can't even sugarcoat it. X-No8 was scary when it used to go backwards. Classic. Absolute classic. Favourite park, Chessington? Yes. Quiz next on live. I don't know, Kurt, have you written any questions? How well did the quiz go down? I can't afford to get a green screen. I hope you like the way the quiz was done last time. It wasn't that popular, sadly, but I really hope you like the way the quiz was done last time. Can you do a live stream showing your theme park collection? We did the maps. Funnily enough, the random video, Molly, coming out Tuesday, and it is random. No joke, taken me 5 hours to film, and about 4 hours to edit, and it's about 6 minutes long, and it is one of the most random videos I've ever made. I don't know. I don't think it's an achievement, but it does show some theme park merch in it. I've not even told Kurt what it is, but it does show some theme park merch in it. But yeah, we've got to dig it out. We've got to dig some stuff out. There's some maps and things I need to look for as well. So yeah. The quiz was brilliant. It's all about having fun and a good laugh. Yeah, I'd like to see your fairs video live to be with the likes of sloppy vlogs, etc. Funny enough, I talked to David today. I'm probably going to do a podcast with David, and maybe we will do a joint fair one. Do you play Animal Crossing? I have bought it. Now. I haven't played it yet, but I have bought it. I do have a Switch. I have bought it. Unrelated, but when do you realistically see a new coast for investment in Chessington? Weren't there plans of long-term development? There was plans of long-term development. I think it was 2022 was when they were looking to develop on the green next to Dragon's Fury. I don't know. Chessington have a year-on-year growth. So, with the amount of effort going into the drop tower next year, I would like to think 2023. That would be where I would. That would be where I am. That would be where I am on it. When I first went to Chessington, the queue so long, I got on Vampire, nothing else. The rest of the crowd's the same, watching Ramsay's Revenge. Yeah, gonna have that. Well, I'm hoping actually the drop tower might still have that viewpoint. I think it might still have that viewpoint. How did you take the picture of the vampire on the roof of the Transylvania building? Not sure what picture you're relating to exactly. Vampire on the roof of the Transylvania building. Vampire. You might have to DM me that one so I know and I'll be able to answer that one for you. Do I play FIFA 20? Yeah, I've got it on the Switch. The boys and I enjoy playing that massively. Kurt, you have a Europa Park quiz left to go. Good. I won't know any of the answers, so that's good for all of us. Pokemon Quest and Super Kirby Clash standards through on Amazon download code. Pokemon Quest, I've got on the Switch actually. I've got that on the Switch. Can I play Tom Nook's Alone in Animal Crossing meme? I've heard it's so good. Do you think Alton Towers will replace Rita? Sadly not. I'd actually rather they rip Rita out and had a much open area with some new rides and things rather than a roller coaster, or put the roller coaster down the back end. That's what I'd much rather for that area. To be honest, all Chessington has done for me is replace Lift to Ruins Park. Just go back for that. Yeah. What's your favourite Nintendo Switch game? Yours is Mario Odyssey. I really enjoy Smash, Super Smash Bros. I bought for Cody. Really enjoyed that. The one of the old trains. So the old trains picture I took in 2002 when it reopened, and they used to be stored. They used to be stored in kind of they've got like a bin section down the back. And yeah, I just zoomed into the picture. And they kept those, and then they sold a couple, and I believe they still own a couple. I don't know where they're kept now. I think they're in the workshop. But I wanted to buy one. I've said before, I wanted to buy one. My mum would not let me buy that train. She just would not let me have it in the house. If she'd have let me, I'd have owned that vampire train, and I'd still have it now. Tom Nook is a meme. I have no idea. No idea. I've got to get on it. I have 100% got to get on that. Favourite ride at Yarmouth Pleasure Beach? I really enjoy reverse time. Really enjoyed reverse time. Such a different feeling, and it's quite a pin to the sea. I remember when I first went, I really enjoyed roller coaster. The roller coaster. I think it's just called roller coaster. I went on it last time. I felt a bit bored on it, to be honest with you. I was really disappointed with it. So yeah, reverse time I think is cracking. I did enjoy Mulan as well, which has now gone. I think the next coaster will be at Chessington. I think out of all the theme parks to get one, I think given this year's status, I think they probably are more likely to invest in Chessington than they are Fort Park. Towers can keep retail, they gain nothing from moving it. No, you are right, they do gain absolutely nothing by removing it. And it is bizarrely popular. Yeah. They could probably develop Cuckoo Land, Spinball, Haunted House, Nemesis. As what I said, Alton Towers is one of the most disjointed theme parks I think there is. I genuinely believe it. I genuinely believe it. Molly, thank you for coming. Thank you for going. We'll see you soon. Yeah, I don't like any of the themes of Alton Towers. None of them. Nemesis, I'm all right with Nemesis, but the rest of the area is then lets it down. I think the whole park needs development. Sadly. An old Q fun van would be amazing. Yeah, I know. I can't talk about it. Tweet me a picture. I'm live streaming at the moment on that. Let me see if I can find the picture. Hold on. I'll bring it up while I'm on my laptop as well. The laptop's a bit slow, but I'll try and load it. They won't get nothing at Cheshunt for a while. I was going to see Cheshunt get some love. Thorpe, won't. No, they won't. The next coaster is technically from Ingerland. Yes, it is. And I can't wait to go on that because I reckon it's going to be incredible. The 10 looper there. What do we think? Of the 10 looper? Do we think it's going to be better? I've had nothing. I'm on the right one. Tweeted me. Right, hold on. God, Twitter does not work very well on a PC. Really doesn't. Why can't I find what's going on here? What's this button? Hold on. Right, notifications on the PC. I have got one now. It has come through. Oh, that one. That's from an old. That's from a postcard. That is from a postcard. That image. That is from a postcard. So yeah, that's where that image has come from. Just so you can see it. I can't put it back on it, but yeah, that's from a postcard. So I guess Chessington took that all themselves. Tweet me the pictures. That's it. Next, yeah. So what do we think? Of the new 10 looper? What do we think of it? Answer if you see TPI. What am I answering? What have I missed? Colossus is pure white now. Yeah, it's lost a lot of colour. Internet is being quite sluggish at the moment. Fiber connection, YouTube buffering. It's probably my end. It's probably because I just loaded Twitter. This is the problem. I load something, all goes bloody wrong. I don't have fiber. I was going to get fiber installed, and yeah, I can't get it installed at the moment. It's so sad. Bit of lag, I think. Tom Nook is scamming you. Someone is 100%. It's going to be better than Colossus. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot better than Colossus. I'm looking forward to the 10 looper from Land for lap bars. See, that's quite a terrifying thought. How do we feel about lap bars on it? How do we feel? So apparently the trains are a different design, because we talk about Colossus getting new trains, but apparently they can't have those trains. It's not possible with the clearance to have those trains. That's what I've heard. So I don't know whether or not that's true. I don't know whether or not that's true or not. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think to that? Happy Easter to you as well, Mario. I'd be excited if we didn't already have one, but the new revision version. Well, the problem is you say could have bankrupted them. You know, I don't think they've paid a lot for it. I mean, they reckon they paid 18 million for it. I've heard they've only paid 2 million for it. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. So yeah, I don't know. It's bad the boy fell off the lap bars. They should know. I'm not sure anyone's fallen out of one of the lap bar ones, oddly enough. I think most of the accidents we've had in the UK have all been from over-the-shoulder restraints and not being able to get people out of them. Not being able to. Thought don't get a new coaster, I'd like to see Colossus get new trains. I don't think you can do it. I genuinely don't think that it can have those trains. I could be wrong. The rumour was they paid 2.8 million for that coaster, and they completely denied that and said they paid 18 million for it. If they paid 18 million for it, they should have got an RMC, they could have got a B&M, they could have got anything they wanted. But yeah, the rumours have it they've paid very, very little for that. And you know, they made a reasonable profit last year. They made a reasonable profit, but I'm sure it was only about 5-6 million. So they didn't really have enough to plough into a 10 inversion coaster that was going to cost 18 million. So yeah, I don't know why they're being so coy about it, but you know, the ride was built, it went to a park, it never opened, it went to another park, it never opened, and then they bought it, and it's about 8 years old. 8 years old? And it's brand new. And you know the worst part is that they built it and then changed the colour after building it. I don't understand that. It surely would have been easier to repaint it before it goes up. But yeah. Twister rides with round cars are really dangerous in my opinion. The problem is on the Twister rides is the double lap bar. They need individual lap bars in my view. They need to have them. Why does Stealth change its colour? A top hat. Who thought of that? So it blends into the sky because they got a one-off planning permission on Stealth for it to be 200 feet high on the basis that it will be a more sky blending colour as it reached the top. So that's the reason why Stealth changes colour as it goes up. Smiley should get new trains and a retheme. 100% agree with a retheme. They need to sort out those last two inversions. 100%. I don't think they need new trains to sort them out. Do I like the Smiler? It's alright. It's alright, the Smiler. It's alright. Would like to see Flamingo Land get Woody next. Well, if they paid 18 million, that's exactly what they should have done, but we all know they didn't. They did buy Hero. But Hero boosted attendance because they advertised it as a flying coaster, not as an uncomfortable cage. So yeah, lap bars, yeah, actually to be fair, lap bars on the Smiler, that would be terrifying. That would be terrifying. And of course they could have had lap bars on the Smiler and they opted not to. They opted not to have them. As I think as a general, they come with lap bars now, don't they? And I imagine they could have them for Solar Ride as well if they so wanted to. Oblivion lap bars, I don't know if B&M could probably do a lap bar for that. I don't know if B&M actually do their lap bars on inverted ones or vertical drop ones. I'm not really sure. Not really sure, to be honest with you. Makes more sense for Mingland to paint the track and sports before they're installed. That's what I thought. I honestly thought that you know, it made a lot more sense to paint it first. I'm a little bit staggered actually they haven't painted it first, to be honest with you. I don't really understand how they've what they're doing. I don't get it. I don't get what they're doing. RMC said their Trex model can do 500 feet. I thought Part will never get permission, a one-off for that, mainly because of the airport. It will be as simple as that. Thorpe Park, I don't think we'll get anything over 200 feet, and I'm not even convinced they'll get another 200-foot one. I'm not even convinced they will. I prefer over-the-shoulder restraints because I feel safer. Depends on the ride, I think, to be honest. I think on the Smiler, I prefer over-the-shoulder restraints. Are you excited for Gangster Granny? I'm intrigued for Gangster Granny. I'm intrigued to see what they've done with it, especially if they've had extra time now to sort it out. Especially if they've had extra time. Single rail, yeah, love a single rail. Someone's got to invest in an RMC in this country. Someone's got to invest in it. Aaron, hi, welcome. We are wrapping up shortly. Welcome, though. Always be sure to watch it back. Gangster Granny is the kind of crap Lego Land would have made. I'm hoping that it's going to be something special. I think that bar's an inverted coaster is dangerous. Worked on Thunder Looper, and that was 20 years ago. This is just Coke. Just Coke. It's actually Pepsi Max. I say Coke. I'm not advertising. It's just Pepsi Max. I start work at 5:30 in the morning in Southampton, and it's an hour drive. So yeah, just Pepsi Max. I don't generally drink, believe it or not. RMC Raptor, where Spinball is. Noise complaints, I think, would stop that one. I think they'd have to go somewhere else in the park. After Smiler Crash, I really thought they would retheme. I'm not sure why they didn't. People love it. People love the Smiler. Start a crowd fund for Lightwater Valley. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping they got good money for the Twister, and the dodgems they've bought in has saved them a bit of money. That's what I'm hoping. You know, can't be a fan of them putting loads of fairground rides in there, to be honest with you. It's not, you know, it's not the right thing. Right, people. We are doing because it seems like someone else is live somewhere else. It's very difficult to do a live and not clash with someone else at the moment. So we had a Planet Coaster go up this morning. Make sure you check out our new series on Planet Coaster. It is definitely on the up. It's on the up. We've got a lot to do on it as well. A lot to do on it. Do you ever think the log flume for Chestnut has a decent splash saying it's a kid's ride? There's a better splash on the new log flume. It's a better splash on the new log flume. I don't know why. To be honest with you. RMC, yeah. Bounce Terrier at Chesington, yeah. They should just dig. Alton Towers do that, they should dig. So we had that. We have our final quiz in our series. So last week we didn't put a quiz up because we did a live quiz, which was fun and quite entertaining and quite stressful. But we did a live quiz. And then we have the final quiz tomorrow, which is a Chesington Part 2 quiz. We also have one in the first season as well. So yes, we have that coming as well. Tuesday we have our random video. I'm not going to give anything away on it. You either like it or you don't like it. Just bear in mind it's taken 9 hours to film and edit, for what it's worth. Very, very odd, but it has taken that long to do it. So yes, be sure to check that one out on Tuesday. Let me know if you want us to do any more videos like that. And again, you know, if there's anything you want us to see, anything you want us to do, and then by all means, please leave your comments below once we're done so I can review them back. I think our next live stream will be a fair one. 100% will be a fair one, fun fair one. We visit a lot of fairs, and we're going to go through our history of visiting fairs and indeed rides we've been on, and indeed also rides that we still left to do in the UK. There are still some rides we'll have to do, but yeah, our history of rides and things that we've done. We've done a lot of fair rides, probably more fair rides than we have theme park rides in Austin in the UK, and we've been doing them for much longer. So thank you very much for joining me today on this impromptu live stream. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the videos on the channel. Remember to like and subscribe, and please put the bell on. You can see what's going on the channel. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you during the week. I will give more notice. I am working all week. Fairs, well, we'll go into that. We'll go into that on the next live stream, Wildlife Fairs. We'll go into that on the next one. We will go into that. But thank you for joining us. I'll give more notice during the week. And yeah, we'll see you then.